Hello everybody, welcome to this Perler Bead tutorial. For today's tutorial, I will be teaching you how to make this super cool 3D Minecraft frog. A disclaimer is you will need to be cutting some Perler Bead pieces, so I suggest getting a trusted adult to help you. Okay, here I have all the basic pieces made, and in just a second I will be showing you the more complicated pieces that you have to use tape and cutting to get those pieces to work. Alrighty. Here is the first complicated piece. What you will need to do is you will need to get tape. You can use any kind of tape. I just feel duct tape works the best. You're going to want to get a big chunk of that tape and slap it right on top of those Perler beads that you have placed down. And now you can flip the tray over and the Perler beads will still pretty much be intact. And you will need to stick 4 Perler beads on in these specific places I will show you in just a second. Okay, these are the next 4 complicated pieces. For these pieces, you will need to cut in half 14 regular Perler beads. So I'm cutting on a piece of cardboard, and here I have a scalpel, which is really sharp. So I suggest getting a trusted adult to help you with this. You're going to want to kind of position the scalpel right in the middle, or your knife right in the middle. You're going to want to roll it back and forth for a second, and then that's when you can make the final cut. Okay, so here I have the next 4 complicated pieces with the Perler beads that we cut in half earlier. So you're going to want to take duct tape and you're going to want to slap it on all of those individually. And then that's when you can, flip it upside down. You might have to kind of pull a little bit harder to get the Perler beads to come off the tray, just because the tape might stick to the tray a little bit. Okay, now that I have all the pieces made, I'm going to show you how to iron the complicated pieces that have half Perler beads on them. These can be really tricky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardboard and kind of prop all the beads that are cut in half, or prop them up, so it'll pretty much be even with the full-size Perler beads. And then you're going to want to iron them just like normal. Okay, now that I have finished ironing the bottom side, now I will show you how to iron the top side. This part can be a little tricky. So what you're first going to do is you're going to take your ironing sheet like normal. You're going to iron the Perler beads that are full-sized, and then you're going to want to maneuver your iron so you're only touching the Perler beads that are half Perler beads. And that's how you're going to iron them. So you iron the top bead separately and the half bead separately. Okay, so I have all the pieces here. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the bottom piece and the two sides, and you're going to want to cut them like you see here in the picture. And now it's time for the assembly process. You're going to take the front and... Dang it, I made it the wrong color. I'll be back in just a second. Alright, now that I fixed that piece, now is the time to pause the video and see all the pieces and stuff. So, now that I fixed the bottom, it's really time for assembly. You're going to take one of the side pieces. You're going to want to be really careful because they're cut. So they can be really fragile and we don't want any breaks to happen. So you're going to be really careful inserting the side piece. And then what you're going to want to do is, let's see, you're going to want to take the front piece and you're going to want to stick it on the front. Again, being very careful with the side piece. Okay, this part can be kind of tricky. It kind of looks like it has a mustache. But anyways, now you're going to do the other side piece, which again, being very careful that you don't break the piece because it's very fragile. Okay, after this, you're going to take the top piece and you kind of have to maneuver some of the pieces and eventually you'll get it to fit in the top. Okay, now that we have the top piece in, we're going to want to insert the eye pieces. So you're going to take these pieces that you've made that have like the eye on them, or the pupils I should say. Then you're going to want to take the other side and do the same thing. Now we're going to do the back of the eyes. They look exactly like the pieces that have the eyes on them. They're just one solid color. You're going to want to do the same thing on the other side. And after you do this, you're going to want to grab one of the pieces that is 3 beads. You're going to want to stick it right on the top there. And then you're going to want to do it on the other side. And then you can insert another one right down that empty gap right there. And then you're going to do it again on the other side. Just kind of right down the middle. And then once you've done this, we're going to insert the back in just a second. And then we're going to move on to a back leg. So I'm going to put the back on real quick. And now we get to start on the back leg. There are those 2 holes right there in the side. So you're going to want to grab one of the kind of funny looking pieces. Or you're actually going to want to grab 2 of them and insert them just kind of like that. Once you get both of them in, then they'll stay in there pretty firmly. Okay, now you're going to want to grab the pretty funny like squiggly shaped one. It's kind of looks like a W. And make sure it's facing the right way, otherwise it won't work. And then you're going to want to grab the piece that looks like a 4. And you need to make sure that it is facing the right way, otherwise it won't work. Now you're going to take one of the complicated pieces, make sure it's the right one. I think this is the right one. And there we go. So you might have to work it a little bit to get the pieces to go in, because this part can be pretty tricky, inserting the bottom. Okay, what we're now going to do is we're going to start on another leg. So we're going to start on the other back leg. Again, once you get these 2 pieces in, it should stay in pretty firmly. Then you're going to want to take the weird W shape, or actually no, you're going to want to make sure that's facing the right way. And this part can be tricky. As I said, you have to insert it just right. And let's see, this part can be really tricky. Hang on. Man, why did I make this so hard? And let's see, let's try this again. Okay. Let's see. This part is so tricky, inserting the bottom piece. The back legs are a lot harder than the front legs. The front legs are pretty straightforward. So here we go, I finally got it. So you're going to want to take one of the C-shaped pieces and one of the pieces that are 3, and you're going to want to insert them kind of like that. And then that little gap right there, you should be able to just insert those beads right into there. And then it's going to be the same thing on the other side, just pretty straightforward. You're going to grab the C-shaped piece and the 3, and then you're going to want to insert it to the bottom piece, and then you can just stick it right in that gap right there. And there you go. The assembly is now finished. I hope you found this Perler Bead tutorial useful, and hopefully I see you in the next video. Bye!